Hi and welcome. This is Michelle Andreassen, the neurodivergent psychic, and you are listening to a series of messages from the collective that I have been writing in companionship with my team of spirit guides. I started some time ago working with my spirit guides, and I have no clue who's coming through or if it's even the same person. Or spirit, I should say. But I have been wanting to know more about anything they'd like to share with me, because I keep getting information from my spirit guides, and I know a lot of people don't. And I guess it's probably mostly because I'm a super curious person. Like, my husband hates it that my favorite word appears to be why. Why is that? Why not like that? Why? Because I really want to know. So it's not criticism, it's really, why is it like that? Because I'd love to know. Why do you see it like this? Why is it perceived like that? And I ask my guides that all the time. Like, I'm feeling this. Why is that? I got that message. Why wasn't it delivered in another way? Why? So I ask questions all the time, and I thought, okay, with this inspired writing, which I was introduced to during a Zoom. It's not a course. It's kind of something that the Spiritualists National Union has online, and I found it super interesting how easy it was to just sit down, ground yourself, connect, and then ask for inspiration. It's not automatic writing, because that's where spirit kind of takes over and writes for you. So in this process, I am super conscious of what is happening, what I'm writing, but I'm not sure what I'm writing. I'm curious all the way through. It's like, okay, interesting. They give me a title. And sometimes I've been a bit insecure because I'm not even sure I understand that word, because English is not my native language. And that's what's really cool, is that the very first time I did this, I wasn't quite sure what they meant. And we had like 20 minutes because it was a guided meditation first, and then she gave us the task to ask for a title, and then we had like 20 minutes to finish. And what I've realized is that every time I'm writing now, it takes about 20 minutes and then I'm done. And you know what? During this first time, I was thinking, I have no idea where this is going. I don't know what they're trying to say, and I wonder if I'm gonna finish it on time. And you know what? When she was finishing, I put the last dot on, and when I read it again, it was like, oh, wow, it actually makes sense. I understand this. So, and what I find is my team tend to do that. Every time I try something the first time, they make it obvious to me that I'm not making it up, because sometimes I have no clue what's going on. So it's not my mind taking over. And now I know how it feels to be inspired by them and not just be super creative, because I'm also super creative. So I could have written a whole lot of things on my own. So now I know when I'm in that energy how it feels, and it's easy for me to oh, wait a minute, now I'm trying to make sense of this, I'm gonna go back into the energy. So enough talking about that. You should try it if you haven't done it. But so my spirit team would love me to share this, and that's why we're doing it. They actually want me to write a book, but ADHD brain, focus, I was gonna sit down every day, put it in my calendar and all of that, but I'm guessing I don't have a lot of finished texts yet. But if I start this series, maybe I will. Actually, they promised me 100 texts, and they want me to call it Being Spiritual, Messages from the Collective. So I don't have just one spirit guide. I used to think I had one who was called Paul. So every time I'm doing something with my team now, it's like me and Paul. And Paul is a collective, and the number changes. It's kind of like I'm getting the number I need of people coming through, and sometimes it's one. Do I say people? That's I've never done that before. So weird. Okay, spirit guides. I guess they've become so normal to me. It's just like my friends, even though I have no clue if it's a male or female energy or who they used to be, if they even were a person. I actually don't care that much. I just very much appreciate the companionship and the cooperation that we share. So I am gonna start with the very first text I wrote. Oh, it's a long one. Okay, it's because I wrote my own feedback on it. Good. So the very first text is from April this year, and it's called benevolence. That was actually the word I was doubting. Benevolence, it's something about being a good person or something. I wasn't quite sure, so I was very interested. So my guides are telling me to shh, that's not the word they're using, but I have to be a bit quiet now because they have something to share. So I'm just gonna act as a channel and a voice. So I hope you'll enjoy it. Okay, we're starting over now. So, benevolence. To be of service is more than a task. It's a way of living, of understanding and knowing that you are needed and that your existence is of importance. Being of service is not a job, but an emotion, a need to follow your instinct, your intuition, and use yourself to create, inspire, and spread love, joy, health, and wealth. Wealth not necessarily as material donation, but more in the sense of quality of life. To bring quality to the lives of others will also bring quality to your own life in many different ways. Life paths. We all have a large number of paths to choose from. Some will bring us joy, some pain, some confusion. But no path is wrong as such, even though it might be a detour. Sometimes we need darkness to cherish light. Sometimes we need heartache to learn how to heal a heart. Sometimes we need to learn the basics before we can grasp and accept the things that the universe is always trying to show us. Sometimes it takes time to be ready, to truly be of service. You may feel called to become a nurse, a doctor, a school teacher, or similar, because it fills you with purpose. But being of service is not only or simply a job. It's also how you act, think, and love, how you see the world and the people in it, how you choose to be open to not being rewarded with money or even a thank you, but still you have the intent to help and be guided by the universe. Knowing, trusting, and feeling the reward itself in the joy it brings you to shine and live in the light. To never be discouraged, because you know that your spirit team only acts in your best interest. Even when you take a detour, or maybe even lead others on a detour, there is a reason, a gift, a learning to be found. Living through and from your heart, not only for others, but especially for yourself, is the easiest path to your own happiness and inner calm. Trusting and surrendering to the wonders and joy of working with and for spirit is truly a gift to be cherished. So do not think of this cooperation as a job, and do not forget yourself and your needs. This is not meant to help you release guilt and shame or past misdeeds, because then you're not acting from your heart and best intentions. This is meant to help you fulfill your purpose of loving your own precious life and knowing that you are loved, needed, and cherished. And I feel like I should just say that last thing again because that was the end of it. This is meant to help you fulfill your purpose of loving your own precious life and knowing that you are loved, needed, and cherished. That was the first text I wrote with my spirit team, Paul, and that was amazing. I loved it. I loved how they kind of thanked me and you as well for the work we're doing, and also making us understand it's not a job, it's a way of living. And if you do it from the heart and not see it as tough or challenging, but as a reward, it will be. And it really made me come to terms with a lot of things. So I hope it gives you something that you can use and take with you on your own journey. And understand that it's a life you have to live. It has ups, it has downs, but if it was just a flat road, where's the fun in that? So I hope you enjoy that precious life of yours with lots of love from me and from my spirit team. And I will share another of their texts in another episode. And thank you so much for listening. Like, share, comment. Love you. Bye bye.